Hello, hello, hello. Kat here from Amplify Your Influence. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 steps to creating effective content on video, even if you hate doing video content. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of people that I talk to, they absolutely hate doing Facebook Lives. And I used to too. I totally fell into that camp until I really started to understand the reason that I would do Facebook Lives and the reason that I would actually learn how to record and present videos confidently and effectively. Because let's think about what we're facing these days on social media is actually massive competition and people scrolling so fast. You can literally get a second and then you're gone, right? So before I jump into the content, let me explain to you why it's so important to really understand how to effectively present content on video. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Pauline. Hi, Mick. Oh, thank you, Pauline. She says, go Kat. So let me explain to you why it's so important to get video right. If you think about it, in 2019, online marketing, video is really the main way that you're going to get your message out into the marketplace. So a lot of people, they don't want to read anymore. There still is a small percentage of people that are going to read a lot of things, and so you want to do blogs for them. But the majority of your marketing, if you're a service-based entrepreneur, if you're a coach, a trainer, an educator, any kind of expert, an author, if you want to do healing, retreats, anything like that, if you're an expert-based business, people want to see you eye to eye. They want to hear how you talk. They want to know if they can trust you, if they can trust your work, if they can trust what you're saying, if they can trust that you're going to get them a result. And video is one of the most powerful ways to do that. So let me give you 5 reasons why video is so powerful. The first reason is that you grab people's attention. So if you get these steps right, these 5 steps right, you're going to grab their attention. If you get these 5 steps right, you're going to increase your engagement. So you actually want people to engage with you and not just kind of sit back and go, what's she all about? You actually want them to engage. You want them to write comments, right? So jumping on this Facebook. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Ali. Hi, Alexandros. Is that how you say it? I'm sorry if I got that wrong. And hi, Lyndon. Thanks for joining me. So place a comment in the box, so I'm engaging right now, if you think video is pretty important for your marketing in 2019, and put a yes if you think it's important, if you think it's a great strategy for an entrepreneur to do it. Just pop that in the comment. Now, if you follow these 5 steps, you will also increase your ability to give value to people. Now, today's economy, we're in the information age, but it's not just about providing information, it's about providing value. People want value. They don't want to just scroll through lots of information. They want you to be speaking directly at their pain point, at their problem, and giving absolute solutions for that. So not fluffy stuff, not just some nice to know stuff, but actual steps. People want steps. Another thing that following this formula does is it helps increase your positioning. So it helps give you credibility. You need to be able to position yourself in your ideal client's mind as the expert, as the authority, as the person in your niche that is the influencer, right? Not just someone that's in a sea of 10,000 other people doing exactly the same thing. And the 5th thing that following this format does, is it actually helps people to not only just listen to what you're saying, but actually absorb the information. So that's why it's really important to follow some key steps when it comes to speaking on video. So let me go through them step by step. The first thing that you want to do when you jump on a video is you want to position yourself and the topic. So I always start, those of you who've watched more than one of my videos, I always start with, hi, it's Kat here from Amplify Your Influence, or words to those kind of, to that effect. So something like, so I'll usually go, hello, hello, hello. The reason I do that is because it grabs attention. So if someone's scrolling through and I'm just sitting here like this, they might not stop the scroll. But if I'm like this, people are like, oh, what's wrong with her? Why is she doing that crazy thing? So in the first few seconds, I usually do a big wave. And then I introduce myself and I introduce the topic. So that's the first thing that you need to do. And what this does is it tells people very fast why they should listen to this video. So if you're mucking around, if you're kind of fixing your hair and doing all these other things, people are just going to go off. But if you're speaking directly to them, directly to the lens, like looking right down the lens, and you are telling them exactly why they are on that video very fast, then you're going to grab their attention. So that's the very first step, is to introduce your name, usually your business name as well, and the topic. What you do then is you go into why they need to know this. So this is called format. You might have heard of it before. Format, the number 4, mat. And so we're going to go into the why of why they know it. Now, why is the very first step of format. Now, in case you're wondering, format was developed by a doctor in the late 70s called Dr. Bernice McCarthy. She was studying a lot of people like Carl Jung on typology, which also there was a lot of, the Myers-Briggs coming out of that typology. Joseph Bogan, who talked about the left and right brain hemispheres. So she was, a student of those, and she developed this, and she actually did it from watching kids in playgrounds. And so I think it was watching kids in playgrounds. Anyway, don't quote me on that. But she realized that there are 4 types of learners. There is why, what, how, and what if. And so there's a specific order that if we go in when we're presenting to people, when we're presenting some kind of content, then we're going to catch every learning style, every type of person. So we start with the why, because the why learners, and you might be a why learner, and I'll explain to you what a why learner is so that you can see if it's you. You're a why learner if you want to know why. So straight away it's like, what's in it for me? Does this relate to my personal values? So for why learners, we do it first because we want to appease them, because they're the most impatient out of all the learning styles. So if I don't quickly say something that is according to your personal values, you're going to jump off the video. And so you tell them the why it's important. So I always start my videos by saying, okay, today I'm going to give you 3 things that you need to do when it comes to, I don't know, your social media marketing. Now, let me tell you why it's important, and then I'll go into the why. Now, you don't always say the word why, but you always frame why you're sharing it with them. So you talk about the benefits, you talk about like the meaning and the why. So that's number 1. Is everyone tracking with me? You guys good? Oh, hey, Matt. Good to see you. Hey, Corinne. Hey, Joe. And hey, Phil. Okay, cool. Good to see you on here. So if you just jumped on, the format is the 4 learning styles, and the first one is why. So when you jump on your Facebook Live video, or when you're recording a video, you introduce your name, your topic, and then you start talking about why you're going to be talking about that topic, all the benefits. Step 2 is that you tell them what it is. So if you're a what learner, you like data, you like facts, you like numbers, you like models. So you want to appease these people who are what learners next, because usually what learners, they want to know obviously what it is, but also a little bit of history about it. So tell me a statistic on it. Give me some research on why it's, why you're talking about this thing. Tell me what it is. Tell me about it. So as soon as you drop in a statistic or a bit of research, or like, for example, I'm teaching on format right now, and format is used for when you're presenting content. So I don't use format, the why, what, how, what if I'm telling my personal story, or if I'm doing an offer, or if I'm I don't know, doing some other part of my talk. Format is a pillar that I use in my talks for when I'm teaching a piece of content. So I use it on video all the time because it's really powerful. I haven't seen anything else quite so powerful. And the 4 presenting courses that I've done, they have all taught format. So I know, worldwide people use it because it just works. It's so powerful, and I haven't seen anything else better than it. So you talk about what it is, and you drop in some cool stats and facts, and that appeases the what learner. Number 3, does anyone think that they're a why learner? Pop in a why. Yeah, this is the origin of format. So Matt, just quickly, Dr. Bernice McCarthy, she developed this in the late 70s. You can Google it. It's everywhere online, and she explains more about it. So it's an awesome tool that you can use when you're presenting. So hey, Desiree. If you think you're a why learner, put why. Hey, George. If you think you're a what learner, Lyndon's a why. So Lyndon, I imagine that you're a little bit impatient if people don't tell you why you had to learn this. And maybe at school, if the teacher's raving on, you're probably thinking, why? You know, why do I need to know this? If it's irrelevant to you, you just switch off. So in 2019, doing our marketing, we need to talk about the why first, benefit. Then the what learners, hey Joshua, what learners want data, facts, stats. Number 3 is the how. So how learners are very practical, very hands-on. They are very kinesthetic. So I'm quite a how learner. I'm quite happy to wait and make sure that, you know, that it's relevant to me. I can kind of sit back and wait as long as I know that I respect the teacher. So if the teacher or the educator or the person speaking has credibility, then I'll kind of sit back and kind of absorb it a little bit. But I want to know the how. Like, let me get stuck in. I want the steps. So don't just tell me why and what. I want to know how to actually do it. So if you're a how learner, your favorite question is how. How do I do that? So when I'm sharing a strategy or I'm sharing a concept with a workshop, for example, I can see that the how learners, they're just itching to get stuck in. They want to just do it, you know, just let me at it kind of thing. So what we do here is we teach, okay, how do I actually apply this concept that I'm teaching you? So right now I'm at the how section. This is kind of like the matrix, like the dream within the dream. I'm teaching format and I'm using format. Are you tracking with that? So, okay, I'm in the how section of format. How do you actually apply it? So how it looks like for me when I'm doing a video is, hey, Kat here from Amplify Your Influence. Thanks for joining me. Lots of big movement, so people stop the scroll. And today in this video, I want to share with you 5 crucial steps that are going to help you create effective video. So I introduce the topic. I go, okay, here's the benefits of it. It's going to help increase engagement. It's going to help improve your positioning. It's going to help your audience get value. It's going to help them absorb the information. It's going to grab their attention. So I told you the how. Now, what I didn't do, and this is kind of like another level, if you're a little bit more advanced, you can say, and what that really means for you is that you can get out there and attract more of your ideal clients. You can make a bigger impact. You can make a bigger difference doing what you love. And ultimately, you're going to serve more people and be able to have that financial freedom from that profitable business that you really want. So you can take that a step further in the why and actually say, these are all the amazing big picture benefits, right? So, and then I go into the what. So what is it? What's format? Well, it was developed by Dr. Vanessa McCarthy in the 70s, so I'm giving some stats and facts. How you actually use it. So what I do in the how section is I go step 1. First, you do this. Step 2. Next, you do this. And I put it in steps. And if you've been watching or following me for a while, you'd know that it's pretty much always 3 or 5. 3 is a very, very powerful number, especially when you're doing a Facebook Live. I couldn't do 3 tonight on this Facebook Live because there's more than 3 steps. But generally, I'll do 3 things, 3 mistakes, 3 myths, 3 reasons, 3 ways. So you want to use the power of 3, ideally, in videos, but sometimes you'll have a chunk of content that's longer. 7 is the absolute max that I would ever do in a video, because it's very hard for someone to remember 8, and 10 just sounds like you've just tried to be too perfect and get it to 10, whereas 7 and 9 are, you know, odd numbers, but I would never do more than 7 typically. Even in a webinar, like a full 1-hour webinar, I do 3 main learning outcomes usually, 4 or 5 at the max, but typically that's the how section is where you actually present your steps. So who feels like they're a how learner? You guys that are on the call. Lyndon's definitely a why learner. Desiree says she's a how learner. So you like the steps. So you're more of a patient learner, Desiree. You kind of sat back, and you've been to one of my workshops, so I know that you liked the steps and you wrote those down. Lyndon, are you quite high energy, I imagine? All right, the 4th type is the what if. The what if learner. Now, I always pick these out in an audience, and I love looking for them because there's a handful of them in every learning environment. When I'm working as a teacher, so for example, if I'm teaching business, or if sometimes I'll teach personal trainers. So I always am really curious to see when the what if learner is going to come out, and I know who they are because when I say, who's got any questions, the what if learners put their hands up and I go, there they are, and they come out of the woodwork. So if you're a what if learner, what you do is you're kind of taking what the educator's telling you, the speaker's telling you, and you're creating all these possibilities with it. So it's like you're taking it and you're going, how can I apply it here? Oh, I could add a bit of that, and I could like integrate it all and create my own system. Or you're thinking, I'm going to go on this self-discovery journey. I'm actually going to take what she's saying and I'm going to see if it actually works. I'm going to test it out. I don't even know if she's correct. So the what if learner is very curious, very lateral thinker, and is very possibility driven. So they're taking bits here and they're integrating it with something else that they know there, and they're like, oh, what if this, what if this, what if I tried it this way? I wonder if anyone's ever done that before, and they're just constantly thinking what if. So usually what if learners, very creative, and you want to make sure that you cover them. Now they are quite happy to wait to the end of your video, and obviously in a video like this, I'm just looking at comments of you guys, but in a live setting, you can actually have a conversation. But on a video, I cover it by saying this one line. I say, now, you might be wondering. And then I think, okay, what are all the possible questions that this person might be wondering? Because the what if learner has got questions. And if I don't kind of answer it, and I just go, bye guys, and I've done this before, I've gone, I forgot the what if learners, then they're left wondering. Right? So in a video, because it's one way, typically, you want to try and imagine what the what if learners are thinking. And what you can do here is you can actually overcome objections. So let's say one of you is thinking, oh, yeah, format sounds quite good, but I'm not sure if I actually believe it'll work. I'm going to go away and do my research. So maybe, Matt, you wanted to know like the origin of it. So I don't know if you're more of a what learner, because you asked a what question, what is the origin? So I imagine, Matt, that you're probably more of a what learner, but you might also be a what if. So people want to go away and try it themselves. So I say, you might be wondering, hey, that sounds really good, but can I actually apply it in a live setting as well as video? And my answer to that is yes, you can. I do it in all my live workshops. I always use format whenever I'm live or on video. You might be wondering, is this something that that I should apply every single time or just sometimes? And my answer to that is anytime you're sharing a piece of content, be it one-on-one, be it on video, be it live in a workshop, I would suggest that you use format. So one of my mentors, Benjamin Harvey, who I'm at his presenting course at the moment, and he teaches this brilliantly. He does such a better job than I do. But he explains it where even if someone comes and asks him a question, he always goes, why, what? He actually goes through this format, even just a one-on-one short little question, because if you don't give credibility, if you don't position yourself, then it's very hard to teach someone something. Like if you just start saying, hey, I'll do it this way, and that person doesn't respect you or have that positioning of why they would listen to you, then it can be tricky. Now in something like this, I don't do credibility every time because I'm doing it in a private group. Well, it's public, but I invite people and I have to accept people. So I assume you already know a little bit about me. You've read a little bit about me. You've read the description. And the fact that I'm teaching on something and doing it myself, there's some assumed credibility there. But if you're not sure, you can always say, hey, in the last 3 years, I've been working with, hundreds of people, and something that I've discovered, and then you kind of just drop a little bit of credibility there, and then you raise your energy when you start telling them what that means for you, because whenever you're talking about yourself, you actually want to use quite a low, humble energy. When you're sharing the tip, the fact, the lesson, the insight, you raise your energy up and you say, so what I recommend is this. You give them the what. So you give them a bit of the benefit, give them the what. Give them, okay, so step one, this is what you do. Step two, step one, step three. Step one, step two, step three. And then you say, do you have any questions? So the questions is the what if part. So if I'm live at a workshop, I'll either have pre-prepared FAQs, and I'll say, hey, some of the questions people ask me, by the way, and I'll just pull out a piece of paper and I'll say, let's say I'm offering a program, I'd say something people often ask me is, do I need to know my ideal client before I join the program? My answer to that is you can join the program even if you don't know your ideal client. So I never say the question, no, you can't. I'll always say you can, or yes. You want to say a lot of yes. So something else people ask is, do I need to have an existing business to start the program? My answer to that is, you don't need an existing business. You can start straight away, and I'll help you with that. Other people are wondering, so I'm just going through all of the what if people I've dealt with over the years and all the questions that they've given me. And you can also do this on your website. I know I've got on a bit of a tangent here away from video, but you can also do this on a video. You can put all your FAQs, and it's all the what if learners have asked you questions. So Joe's got a question here. Joe, are you a what if learner? So Joe says, can you have both, a bit of how and what if? Yeah, we can have little bits of all of them. So just kind of like four type personalities like DISC, for example, you usually have your primary one, and then you have like your secondary one, or the one that you're least like. So yeah, you can definitely have little bits of both. So it just means that you've got a little bit of both going on, but you'll probably have a primary one. The main thing to remember with the video is that we cover all 4 types, so that we're covering every type of person that could jump on your video. So without overcomplicating it, if you just go back to the simplicity of, if I'm a what learner and I always speak in what, which is most of the school system is in the what system, this is just what it is, it's just like rote learning, just learn it, this is what it is, then you've missed 75% of people that could be jumping on your video. So if you cover the why, what, how, and what if in order, then you're actually going to cover the majority of people. They're going to stay on your video, they're going to get value, they're going to have attention, they're going to retain the information, and you can just keep cycling through. So if you feel like, oh, I'm losing it a bit, you just go, hey, before I continue, I just want to remind you again why it's so important to have a clear step-by-step structure when you're speaking on video and not just rambling and raving, and you just go back to the why. So you can kind of, cycle between them. Lyndon says, can you give us an example of this used in a question? The format formula used to answer a question. Lyndon, do you mind just explaining what you mean by that? Sorry, I haven't quite caught it. I'm a little bit tired, sorry. But yeah, if you could just pop the format formula used to answer question. I'm not quite sure what you mean, sorry. Desiree says, I'm a bit of both, how and what if. Yep, cool. So we're usually a little bit of both. I'm a little bit of a why and what learner. The main thing to take away is when you jump on your video, you introduce yourself, introduce your topic. So now I'm just repeating what I've said so that it's just sinking in again. Whenever you give content, whenever you give a piece of education, make sure you kind of, repeat a few things to just help people remember it. So, hey, Kat here from Amplify Your Influence, big movements, stop the scroll, and then I go into the topic, what it is, then why, what, how, what if, and I've got a final step in the 5, which is I tack it onto the what if, just so there's five steps still, not 6, and this is your call to action. So whenever I'm presenting some kind of content, I like to call people to action. Now, the action doesn't mean go and sign up for something. The call to action is, hey, what can you do to apply this piece of content to your life this week? And so maybe I'll just pose a question. Maybe I'll say, what's been your main learning? Pop it in the comment below. So you're almost showing people that every time you learn something, you actually should take action on it and not just go, oh, that's interesting, so you're kind of training your followers to take action on what you're teaching them. So I usually do something like pop a comment below, how can you apply this today, jump on my free webinar, or grab my free cheat sheet, pop the link in the comment and I'll send you that. So I'll usually, give them a little bit of a call to action. So Ben uses format to answer a question. Oh, yes, sorry. Okay, cool. So when someone goes up to Ben and asks him a question, like a what if learner, instead of him just answering the question, he will often he'll position himself. So he might say something like, over the last 10 years of speaking on stage and being in the top 2 I don't want to butcher this, I don't want to get this wrong, I'm sorry, Ben, but let's say that person doesn't know him very well, like he's only been on stage a couple of hours, and someone comes up to him on the first break and asks a question. He'll use a bit of positioning before he just straight out answers the question. And it just means that question will be a bit more absorbed. So if someone, let's say someone asks a question on that, they don't believe that format works. They're like, oh, I'm not sure. So they might say, how can you prove that format works, Kat? So instead of me just saying, go Google it, I might say, well, you know, I've been to, well, I did actually, our position, I said I've been to 4 presenting courses and all of them recommend using format. I've applied it in my own life and I've got a successful business, a profitable business where I've attracted clients. I've run over 100 workshops. And what I've found is that format is the best one to use. I use it in all my videos. I use it in all my workshops. So it's kind of like you're positioning it before you actually just answer the question. I hope that answered your question, Lyndon. Does anyone else have any other questions? Please pop them in the comment box. Do you think you're a what learner, a why learner, a what learner, a how learner, or a what if learner? And the main takeaway for you is to make sure that when you're doing video, you apply them in that order, ideally, if you're teaching some kind of content. If you're just inspiring people or doing a bit of a behind the scenes, you don't need to use format. This is specifically used if you're going to create a piece of content. So what is your call to action? I would love it if you would pop something in the comment box that you got out of this video. That would really help me. And if you want to know more, then Lyndon says amazing. Lyndon says thanks so much. Okay, cool. If you want to know more, then just drop me a comment and engage with me, because I'm always wanting to help you guys. So feel free to post in the group, post on the comments in the video, and I'd look forward to seeing your live videos. So feel free to tag me in if you want me to come and engage on your live videos, because it does help if you get engagement. It definitely helps with the algorithm of Facebook. And I hope that's been really helpful. So use format. I'm just going to quickly review it again. Name, introduce the topic, why, what, how, what if, and then give them a call to action. Those are the 5 critical steps that are going to really help you effectively deliver content to your ideal clients and increase your impact and your income and your influence. I hope that's helped. Bye guys, have a good night. Take care, bye.